Today, women are coming out of their homes, overcoming fears of being unsafe. Sometimes they're getting support, sometimes not. But they are accepting the challenge. And that is a development Swami Vivekananda dreamt of long, long ago. Now, हमने आप में से बहुतों की राय ली. We came across some harsh realities and also found out some solutions. आज हमारे बीच है स्वामी पूर्णात्मानंद जी, सेक्रेटरी रामकृष्ण मिशन, स्वामी विवेकानंद एंसेस्ट्रल होम एंड कल्चरल सेंटर, कोलकाता. और हमारे साथ होंगे मिस्टर चंद्रशेखर घोष, चेयरमैन एंड मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर, बंधन माइक्रो फाइनेंस एंड द लेटेस्ट एंट्रेंट इन द इंडियन बैंकिंग इंडस्ट्री. वो नारी प्रगति के क्षेत्र में पिछले 13 सालों से काम कर रहे हैं. उनका एक्सपीरियंस हमें इस मुद्दे की गहराई में जाने में मदद करेगा. और हमारे साथ होंगी मिस श्यामश्री सेन, who is a social activist and runs a public relations company. Welcome to our show, Mr. Ghosh and Miss Sen. Please, आइए. Thank you for taking time out from your precious, valuable day, I'm sure, and being with us and guiding us young people. हमारा आज का युवा भारत जानना चाहता है कि नारी प्रगति क्या असल में एक सच्चाई है या बस एक अधूरा सपना बन के रह गया है. हाँ, तो पहला सवाल आप पूछेंगे. हाँ, कहिए.
हम लोग we come across situations where we find like domestic violence have become very common. And women are not only a victim to this, but what's more unfortunate is like not only that they go through this, but they are not even allowed to go and file a complaint to the police. Like there's lack of family support to that. Even family becomes a resistance to such complaints. So
जी, और आज भी अभी भी ऐसा होता है कि अगर कोई छोटी बच्ची कुछ सीखना चाहती है, पढ़ना चाहती है, स्कूल जाना चाहती है, उसे रोका जाता है. और रोकने के लिए सिर्फ डांटा ही नहीं, मारा पीटा भी जाता है. तो बहुत ही दुखजनक है ये.
Well, Shamashri Sen, would you like to take on both these questions?
Yes, it is true that there is a lot of domestic violence which is now come out in the open. It's not as if this is happening for the first time. This has happened for generations because women have always been treated as the weaker sex, and so there is this case of male domination over the women. And so if a woman is a little vocal, then she gets beaten up in the house. And yes, there is very little family support, especially even from the girl's own parents or anybody, because they don't want the girl to come back. And as far as you're talking about literacy for girls, that's because the idea is that the girl has to get married and go away. So why waste money on
Paraya Dhan, that whole concept of, that awful, ugly concept of Paraya Dhan.
Yes, and this is for a large part of our country. Almost 60% of the people think like this. It's not that everybody does, but at least 60% of a nation of 1 billion people is a large number of people.
60% of 1 billion people. So, Mr. Ghosh, आप सोचते हैं कि इन सब के पीछे फाइनेंशियल इंडिपेंडेंस बहुत जरूरी है? क्या महिलाओं के फाइनेंशियली इंडिपेंडेंट होने से ये समस्या कम हो जाएगी?
Yes, I hope so on that. What is my last 13 years experience say that the two major factors for this violence. One, we say that there's a poverty in the family level, and the second is the imbalance of the power.
Poverty and imbalance of power.
So imbalance of power in the family, we know that the husband is more powerful than the woman. So husband is involved in the income generating program.
ये बिल्कुल आप सही बात कह रहे हैं. हम शायद इस बात, we are quite aware of this. आपने 13 साल में क्या किया है to alleviate this problem?
So we, as a microfinance organization, I started in 2001 how we can be empower the women through the economical support. We say that those people, those women are not in involved in any income generating activities. They have not earned any cash income in the family. So they are more or less is affected by this type of violence.
They're completely dependent, therefore they have no power.
No power on that. So they are not in the even spend any money for their children school, or children asking that the one ice cream I'd like to take.
आइसक्रीम तो दूर की बात रही, पेंसिल तक नहीं खरीद
pencil
सकते
can
हाँ.
take. So for that reason, we form a group with the women and giving them money to start the business. And when business have been started, so their income has come in a cash in the family, and his power has coming to start on that. And second point is there, the power is a two factors. One is a money, another is an information. Information also has a power. So those are living always in the home, inside of the home. They are not getting the opportunities to come out from the home and to get the information, what is his rights, what is her rights on that. So when the group meeting happened, there's a lot of discussion happened in the group level. So they are also learned lot of information about their rights.
सब महिलाएं मिलके ग्रुप में बैठ के बातचीत करते हैं एक दूसरे से, और जितनी खबर और इंफॉर्मेशन है अवेलेबल वहां पर वो मिलने लगी है उन्हें.
True.
जो पहले नहीं मिलती.
True. So income is coming through this group because we are giving the loan. They are invested in their income generating activities. Money is coming. Information is coming from the group meeting. And third one is there. They are feeling that the one group, and there's a 20-25 women. There is a group. There is also the power. Strength. So any type of some violence has come. So opposite sides also think about it. There is a 20 women will be come together, and I may be again attacked on that.
हाँ no, मैं थप्पड़ मार के वो पैसे नहीं ले सकता हूँ अभी उनसे. हाँ वो 25 लोग आके मेरी पिटाई करेंगे. हाँ.
So for that reason, we are creating this empowerment in the women, and we hope that they are getting the good empowerment.
आप 13 साल से ये किए जा रहे हैं, तो visible change क्या है आपके यहाँ पर? Say how many cases of these have you? Must be thousands, right? You must have loaned money to.
We have now in the 55 lakhs women involved in this.
So सिर्फ 55 lakh, 55 lakh women have already benefited from this microfinancing exercise that Mr. Ghosh leads. Congratulations, that's splendid, absolutely. And this, I'm assuming this encompasses the whole country.
Yes.
हाँ.
All the country.
पर अभी तो 55 लाख माने आपकी सिर्फ शुरुआत ही हुई है, अभी तो बहुत बाकी है.
True.
Right? Very good. I think that's a splendid amount of information that we have got. Swamiji, in the books, just to get this discussion going in any different direction, if it can go in that direction, what was Swami Vivekananda's dream for women?
Initially, we have heard that Vivekananda had a great dream about the uplift of women of India. Yes, he had a great dream. But the question may be put that it is only a dream or it is to be actualized into reality. So dream generally remains always a dream. It never gets actualized into reality. But Swami Vivekananda gave us this great dream that we will actualize this dream in reality someday or other. He has great expectation about the women, and he had a dream that of a society which will honor fully women. A society is the greatest or best which gives honor to women, put them in full esteem, give them every respect, and all the facilities of life are open to them, exposed to them. That was his dream, and I think the symptoms are seen nowadays that dreams are going to be realized today or tomorrow.
So all the facilities should be made available to them. He probably didn't write it down, but he probably also meant that the opportunities to work as equals in offices, in factories, if required, everywhere else. So he was also talking about a certain equality.
Yes, always. Equality of women. And he used to say that a bird can fly in the sky when both the wings of the bird are equally strong and powerful. If one wing is strong and the other wing is weak, then the bird cannot fly in the sky. So Vivekananda wanted and dreamt of that equality among women in the society, which will be equated with man's power and freedom, etc.
Achha, I'm going to open this next question to all of you over here. Why is it that extreme forces, I'm going to call them extremists, okay? Not terrorists, but extremists. Why are they so bent upon, in this day and age, still in suppressing the rights of women? I'll start with you.
I think it is the traditional concept of the man being stronger and in a way suppressing a woman by whatever means. In that case, it could also be rape, which is happening too often today for our comfort, is a way of showing a lot of power over a woman. So it is a way of annihilating any opposition from the woman's side by trying to stand up on her own feet. So possibly that is a reason. And I think the basic reason behind this reason is that the young men, when they are growing up, their mothers don't teach them to respect women.
Their mothers don't teach them.
I am a mother, and I teach both my children to be equal. My son cooks, and my daughter also knows how to cook. So I don't think we, till such time that we parents, especially the mother, because mothers in India have a habit of pampering their sons.
So you're thinking the worst enemy of women are women?
Yes.
Yeah, that's quite a strong statement you're making over here.
Yes, it is true, because it's the mother-in-law who finds faults in the daughters-in-law as soon as they come in. And that leads to the daughters-in-law and all the Saas Bahu serials, that the daughters-in-law very typically hate their mothers-in-law. As long as the mother-in-law will respect and give equality and give a space to the daughter-in-law, I think she is going to respect the mother-in-law, vice versa, and the children learn from there.
So now we've got what Swamiji said about what Swami Vivekananda thought about women. We've got what Shamushri here is talked about how, well, she agreed with me that women are usually the worst enemies of women. And we've got Mr. Ghosh here talking about his organization helping women. Now, any questions regarding this?
मेरा सवाल है सर कि नारी को हर जगह मतलब घर पे भी काम करना पड़ता है, बाहर भी जाके हमें काम करना है, हमें घर भी संभालना है, हमें बाहर भी संभालना है, हम दोनों जगहों पे काम करें। क्या ये सही है कि हमसे इतनी उम्मीदें रखी जाए?
And one more thing कि हम लोग जो काम कर रहे हैं दोनों संभाल रहे हैं तो उसको और अच्छे से कैसे करें, मतलब उसको और अच्छे से कैसे संभालें? We have to do it.
Okay, I'll point both those answers to you first and then we'll go down the line.
मुझे लगता है भगवान ने हम औरतों को थोड़ा ज़्यादा पावर इस तरफ दिए है कि हम बैलेंस कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज पहले हम लोगों को नौकरी करने के लिए बाहर जाने से मना किया जाता था, पर अभी फाइनेंशियल रीजंस के लिए लड़के जब लड़कियां चूज करते हैं, इवन इन एन अरेंज्ड मैरिज इन आवर सोसाइटी, वो कमाऊ वाइफ चाहते हैं बिकॉज थिंग्स आर एक्सपेंसिव. सो वी विमेन वर्क and we also have children and we look after the family. It is a matter of how you balance your work. I stopped working when I had my 2 children. By the time they went to school and were able to handle things, then I started going back to work. I think that helps because children, when they, in their nurturing period, they need the mother.
You've been with Bandhan for some time or been working with Bandhan for some time. How is it, in your experience, what is the sort of benefits that have accrued?
As a woman employee of Bandhan?
As a woman employee of Bandhan, as a mother, as a working mother?
Okay, for empowering women, I need to empower myself first. Actually, I am a professional. I have a MBA degree. I worked for 4 years in a big FMCG organization. And then I took a break for becoming mother. I took around 1 year break. And when I was looking for a new job, as ma'am said, I mean, I would say that, you know, today for so-called educated urban women also, there is a lot of discrimination when there is break in career and then they go for a new job, when they start looking for a new job. But Mr. Ghosh was very kind enough to accommodate me and gave me a very meaningful role in the organization. And that is how I am with this organization for last 1.5 years. And Bandhan is an equal opportunity organization. There are a lot of female employees. We are very flexible with women.
You're talking about urban areas.
Right, sir.
What about the rural areas?
So,
ये जो हमने पिक्चर
Yeah.
देखी, लोग बैठ के काम कर रहे हैं वगैरह वगैरह, तो कैसे आपने
actually, sir, Bandhan has transformed the fabric of the society of villages where it works.
Yeah.
When
give me
the-
for instance, give me an example.
Yeah, I'll give an example. There is a branch in Toliganj.
Toliganj is hardly rural.
Interior of that. I mean, maybe 13 years back, it was a village out there. And even if it is not a village, maybe she was not doing well. Her
All right, it's a
family
sort
was-
of semi-rural area.
Semi-rural area,
Okay.
and the family was in dire need. The husband was not well. There are 2-3 children, and the female, everybody was looking up to the lady of the family to, take forward the family out of, rescue the family out of the crisis. And she got a loan from us, and she bought a
Sewing
sewing
machine,
machine. Okay, she started gradually. And when very recently we were looking for a case study, like, sometimes we go back and see what has been their progress. So over a period of time. And we saw that she herself is now employing around 30-35 females, having those many sewing machines and having a small scale industry.
That's terrific.
So that is how, this is just a small instance. There are so many such cases.
And there are 55 lakh
there
such
are
cases.
55 lakh, yeah.
It seems that Mr. Ghosh is actually doing what Swamiji preached so many years ago. अच्छा, ये जो आप women's empowerment जो करने, क्या स्वामी जी की कोई influence थी आप पे?
No, Swamiji is always in thoughts level is very good, and which can be help to any people change their behavioral part on that.
तो आप कह रहे हैं कि behavioral pattern बदल सकती है अगर हम स्वामी जी के teachings को जरा सा imbibe करें.
The Swamijis can help us to develop the feelings, how we feel this matter. No, sometimes many people we are looking at. Many people have the maid servant in the home. But we are not understand about it. What is the need of this level of the people?
Yeah, Shams.
I have read quite a few books by Swamiji, and I've read his life by various authors. And his respect for women, his feelings about women being equal, the other equal half, that has inspired me, because not very many of our leaders in the past have given so much weightage to the woman. But he was very close to his mother, and also he managed to influence a lady from across the continent to follow him and come here and then carry on. So I'm obviously very influenced by all these things that he gave so much importance and made us understand what our worth and value is.
So how are we going to Swamiji in this day and age?
See, Swamiji is a permanent and perennial source of inspiration for everybody, for every heroic action that we take. So I'm reminded of the last scene of Swamiji's mortal remains are being consigned to fire at Belur Math premises. And Sister Nivedita, the beloved disciple of Swami Vivekananda, she was watching the spectacle that Swamiji's mortal remains are being consigned to fire. And fire is consuming the body of Swamiji. And Nivedita, sitting there, very much dejected and sad that my all hope is now gone. Seeing him only, I came from my country to serve India, but that man is now gone. So with whom I shall now talk to, with whom I will get my inspiration from now onwards. Suddenly he saw that the Chadar, the Uttariyo that I am having now, she had seen that Chadar and Uttariyo on Swamiji's body 3 days ago before Swamiji passed away. And she was seeing that the Chadar is also being consumed by fire. Then she was very much rejected. Then if I would have got that Chadar, a portion of that Chadar with me, then that will serve as inspiration to me for the years to come. As soon as she thought, the Chadar with a blow of wind came to her lap, and she took it and touched his head. And at that time, she writes in the letter to Miss Josephine MacLeod a few days after that, Joe, I feel that Swamiji sent me a message that, Margaret, don't think that I am dead. I will never die. I am alive. I live, I live, I live. This is the incident I remember, and for this incident, I remember that Swamiji is inspiring us always and ever, whether we know it or not. Swamiji said in a letter to an English friend, and one day I will leave this body like other mortals do, but never think that I will die. I will live, and I will go on inspiring men everywhere in the world, always and ever. So whether you know it or not, it is always in our thought process that Swamiji is inspiring us. That inspiration is still vibrant. And I am reminded of a comment of Sri Aurobindo. He says that wherever you find that it is heroic, it is vigorous, it is courageous, it is bold, you must think that there is Vivekananda.
हमारे देश की महिलाएं कमजोर नहीं. Just don't underestimate them. Be supportive, be their power, because yes, we have to take responsibility. But they are also responsible for their own lives and their own decisions, and more power to them. तो दोस्तों, आज के लिए बस इतना ही. So goodbye all. Thank you Mr. Ghosh, Maharaj ji for your time. Thank you Shamushri. And अगले हफ्ते हम फिर मिलेंगे इसी दिन इसी समय. पर तब तक be focused, stay inspired and take care. Namaskar, namaskar once again, and namaskar to my favorite people.